Hi Aquarius, this is Carrie Mubarak at wooingnature.life. Hope life is good for you. This is your October reading for 2019. I am working with Colette Baron Reed, the Enchanted Map Oracle, and I am also working with the King Solomon cards, or the King Solomon Oracle. It's a Kabbalistic deck. And then last but not least, I will be working with the Tarot to follow up and to clear up and clean up any kind of questions that we may have had about the other two oracles. So I'll be pulling 3 cards from Colette Baron Reed, the Enchanted Map, 3 from the King Solomon Oracle, and then the last we'll just free fly and free fall and see where we end up. All right, so this is for Aquarians for the month of October 2019. Insight, guidance, things to think about, things to focus on for the month of October 2019 for my Aquarian friends. All right, let's see where we are. Aquarius, we got the one ring circus going on. You, yourself, and you. The need to get some listening and to listen. And the magical shapeshifter. So it looks like there's a time for shift. It's a time for change. That's evident in the magical shapeshifter. It's time for you to make the change. So the change is imminent. The change is inevitable, but you are the person who is going to ultimately create the change. You are going to create the situation that allows the change to happen for you, okay? Nobody is going to change your life for you. You have to do it. You're right now operating as a one-ring circus. It's nice to be alone, and sometimes you feel like, you know, that you're your own best company, Aquarius, but not really, because you're an 11th house somebody, and 11th house is always about your gregariousness and being able to connect with other people and having these really great relationships with other people and that kind of stuff. So if you're feeling like you're in a one-ring circus, Aquarius, you're really out of your own bag. An opportunity to listen. This is the time to listen. To listen more than you're speaking, to pay attention to what people are saying around you, even to listen to the sounds of nature or music or anything, but it is to engage your listening instrument. You can't go by what you see. You definitely aren't doing yourself a favor by talking all the time. It's an opportunity right now for you to really hone in and listen to what's next, because it is definitely going to have an effect on the next moves. I think you're missing some key information, Aquarius. I feel like by you, it's like by you being by yourself, you can listen to yourself, which is good, and everybody needs to do that. But I think in this particular situation, you need to kind of come out of the isolation and come out of the phone booth, Superman, Superwoman, like come out of the phone booth and, you know, put yourself in a situation where you can receive information from other people other than that self-listening. So I'm getting a lot of like isolation here. It's not really serving you, Aquarius, is what I'm saying. It doesn't serve you at your core. At your core, you're a people person. At your core, you gain a lot of insight from things that are happening outside of you. And so if you are shutting in or closing in, or if you find yourself always alone and not out, and it doesn't necessarily have to be with people, but just like in general out, then I don't think that you're going to get the messages that you really need right now. I think you're going to need the help from other people and their advice, or just like something they said that strikes you and it's like, oh man, I really needed to hear that. But you won't be hearing that if you're by yourself. All right, so the magical shapeshifter, this is a time to shift, time to change, time to make some decisions also, like make decisions about what you want to step into, and then head in that direction, right? There's a lot of choices. I'm getting that there's a lot of things that you can choose from. It is free will state, so you can do whatever it is that you want to do that aligns with your personal best or your personal well-being. but you do have to make the decision about that, and I think that the listening part is going to play a critical role. All right, so I am reaching into the King Solomon Oracle, the Kabbalist deck, to just look at the spiritual and the physical and see how those things, pair up and match up in this particular situation. We want to look at this for the Aquarians for the month of October. All right, we got 13, card number 13, and I will read what these mean in just a second. We've got 12 in reverse. My apologies about the lighting. I don't know what is going on with it today, but it's definitely misbehaving. And then we've got 16 in reverse again. Not again, but I got that in another reading. All right, so King Solomon number 13 in the upright position talks about power, strength, and determination. Again, that's in the one ring circus position, so it's power, strength, and determination. This card represents powers and forces, enthusiasm and determination, the ability to achieve your goals with momentum and spiritual focus. Failure and delays will not deter you. It could mean a power struggle or some kind of forceful competition as well. If you're talking about a person, we're talking about a powerful, uncompromising person. Could be a difficult person, could be you. If you're being difficult, I don't know. But the advice is to invest energy and determination into what you're doing. Go the whole 9 yards and don't give up, okay? So again, we're headed toward this change, this shift that has to happen. But don't be too stubborn, okay? Don't be too stubborn on that. I think that's real good advice. All right, so card number 12 in reverse is saying keep a low profile and let somebody else take responsibility. And then being mindful of those people who might be controlling or manipulative or something like that. So again, this goes in the position of listening. So if you're around people, be in listening mode. Take the low profile. Do more listening than talking. You don't have to be out front. And then that way you will get some of these messages that may be coming through to you. Things that you need to hear in order to make this decision. Because you may be like in a meeting somewhere and somebody will say something that they always say or that you've heard them say 1,000 times, and then all of a sudden they say it and you're like, I never heard that in quite that way, okay? So that's what the listening is about. It's a deeper form of listening. It's not just like, hearing people blah, 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 but it's like about hearing the things that you need to hear in the moment that are going to push you forward on your journey. All right, and in the last position, we have card number 16 in reverse. It talks about a lack of support, lack of respect. You might be in a situation in where the difficulties that you're involved in are actually teaching you in some kind of way. So if you feel like you're not able to make this shift properly, just know, or if you feel like you're stuck in some way, just know that that's there to teach you. Sometimes you have to learn things the hard way instead of the easy way so that you won't forget it, so that it becomes a part of your makeup. Your everyday, this is how I get down kind of makeup, okay? All right, so just a little recap before we go into the tarot. Listening is important, not isolating is important, being prepared to make the shift, taking a low profile, letting that low profile period kind of be about the time that you're going to be listening and focusing on the messages that are coming from the outside that you need to hear on the inside. And I think that's the long and short of that. All right, we'll head into the tarot now for October, Aquarius, October 2019. Details about this reading for Aquarius. All right, so we got the 9 of Swords in reverse. The 9 of Swords is a person who is very intelligent, very bright, thinks of things in a logical manner, understands things from just like, this is the logical way to deal with it, okay? But it's coming in reverse. So to me, what that means is that logic may not be the root for this month, okay? It may mean that you have to approach things from an emotional standpoint, or you might have to approach it from a spiritual standpoint. But right now, for you to try to think your way through this process is not necessarily the way to go. I feel like the listening is the way to go. So, in the Knight of Swords also represents air signs. So when we're thinking about air signs and communication, and I'm thinking about Gemini energy, and then I'm also thinking about Libra energy as well. They're known as great communicators, but one of the key parts about communication is listening. If you're not listening as a part of the communication, then you're not really having a communication at all. You're just talking. And that's a difference. And it does say keep a low profile in this card. So if you are the person, or you find yourself like being the person who does the most explanation and talking, or if you find yourself being the most loquacious in a situation, tone that down so that you can hear what's coming through. All right, we got the Nine of Cups. That's a very positive card. It means, usually represents luck. But for me, what I see is that there's plenty of opportunities, again, for you to choose from. To me, I'm getting this in relationship to the Magic Map Shifter card, that there's lots of opportunities here. There's lots of ways for you to get what it is that you're looking for out of life, and you just have to be open to it. And I think the listening goes with that. Again, another movement card. So there's a lot of movement happening. Magical Map Shifter is a movement card. Chariot is certainly a movement card. Here we're looking at the opportunities or the things that are coming your way. Just don't get in your head about it. Don't be in your head about it, Aquarius. Don't get into that head space. All right, and then we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, which is pages are about messages. It's about messages coming in to you. It's coming in reverse, which means you may not be getting the message. Again, listening becomes very important when you are trying to receive messages, especially from the spirit. It's a deeper form of listening. It's a different level of listening. It requires patience. It requires getting out of your head some. And Aquarians, you all are air signs, so y'all can be in y'all's head a little bit too. Not so much like the others, but you all can be in your head a lot. Releasing the burdens, getting rid of burdens. Anything that feels burdensome to you, release that and let that go. Don't hang on to that, that's for sure. That's for sure, because if you're hanging on to burdens or sorrows or difficulties or stuff like that, or you're in a place where you're not forgiving old debt within yourself, that will hang up your progress in your movement. So good movement in October. I think that you definitely, have some work cut out for you, but it's easy work. It's just closing your mouth and listening and waiting for the right cues. You're just waiting for your cues, and those cues that you're going to get while you're listening are to move you. To move you. Got last two cards, Death in reverse and the Four of Swords. So again, letting go, resting, relaxation, and being ready for the next phase. All right, so I hope that's good for you this October. I hope that you have a great October. If you need to reach out, do a deep dive, you can do so by reaching out to me at Kerri, Kerri, at wooingnature.life. As always, I hope you have a pleasant October, and I hope you're having a fantastic life.